Alright, I'm back from work in my workshop on the ground here. So the welds are done. I got the brackets on both sides. So the brackets are relatively straight. You can see it's pivoting there a little bit. Well, it's not like the parking lot is perfectly flat, but even if the surface was perfectly flat, it is not. It's like it's sitting on 3 points. It's not sitting flat on both brackets at the same time. But I also realized the intercooler itself is not perfectly flat, so that might be also the cause for it to be, wobbly. But it's fine. I'm gonna space it out with the rubber bushings anyway, so it's not gonna be under stress. But yeah, that's what my welds look like. This is where I welded, and this is where I just gooped it up. So yeah, I don't know how easy it is to see there. It's quite an experience. So this were my practice welds before I tackled the intercooler, and as you can see, my practice welds look a lot better than intercooler itself. That's because it's a totally different thing. The intercooler has a lot of heat dissipation, so it's really difficult to get the intercooler to melt and take the weld. It was a lot easier actually to get this thick bracket to melt than intercooler itself, and then there's a lot of places just really difficult to get it in clean. And I think that was another cause for it not taking the weld. It's because it just wasn't prepped, and it's really difficult to prep uneven surfaces like this or welding on top of the other welds. And this is the other side. As you can see, I wasn't able to get in here. Well, actually, I wasn't able to get the weld in there. And this side looks not too bad. So I tried to weld it on the inside too, where it's pretty much nothing to grab onto. And again, failed miserably. Luckily, this part is not going to be very visible, so I think that's going to be fine. And there's not much more to say about it. Just fail overall. And this is just all looped up. Anyway, at this point, I'm gonna take off the bumper for the 10th time, and I'm gonna test fit it. Alright, so bumper cover is removed. I removed all the bolts from the reinforcement bar, but the bumper will not come out. But I already knew this. I've watched YouTubes and people were trying to install like a tow hook onto this. And yeah, the bumper doesn't come out. Well, that's because it's welded in. So what happens is, let's see if it's visible from here. So the bumper is welded right there. That's a weld right there. And that's another weld right there. It's welded to this plate here. And this plate here is spot welded here, here, and somewhere down there. And yeah, so this plate is spot welded to this frame rail basically. And this frame rail is the one that actually has weld nuts on it. So there's 3 different pieces. Now, as you can probably guess, it will be really difficult to get to those bolts in there, in between here. I would have to cut a hole in here, and there's quite a bit of a bead going on there, here and here. I don't want to butcher my bumper like that. What people usually do is they would take out these spot welds here. So one, there's actually no, oh no, yeah, there's a spot weld here. So 1, 2, I heard there's 3. Okay, and there's one more here. Yeah, so I gotta take off those 3 spot welds on each side, and then this reinforcement bar is going to come out with this plate, and I will still be able to put it back together as it bolts into the weld nuts, which is not part of this plate. Weld nuts are part of the frame rail. I just decided to record some more angles in case people wanted to see. Yeah, so there are the weld nut, and this is frame rail, and this is one piece, and it's bended over here. And no, actually this is not one piece. Yeah, so this is weld nut, and the piece ends here, and this is a separate plate. Separate plate that has a beads welded to the reinforcement. Again, so this is bar that is welded to reinforcement with a bead, and this is the plate that is spot welded to the frame. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see, can I see the bead from here? Weld bead? Yeah, I don't know yet. There is a weld bead in there, not focusing it. Yeah. Alright, so actually I don't have a spot welder drill bit. I just have regular drill bits and a regular drill, and as you can probably tell, this is going to be really tight, but I'll try to make it work. In the end, if I'm not able to get all of those welds, I might just try to drill the holes through the bumper to secure my intercooler. Yeah, so that's the reason why I need to take off the bumper. The only reason I want to take it off, so I can weld the intercooler to that. So let's see here. Yeah, as you can see, I can't fit my drill in there to drill it from the back side, but I could technically drill a hole through, all the way through the bumper, put a riv nut here, and use those riv nuts to secure the intercooler from the back side without taking off the reinforcement bar. But I think it will be easier to work with this if I just took off the reinforcement bar and drilled it from the back that way. There it is. I've drilled first hole. Does it completely drill out the spot weld? I don't think so. I think the hole is too small, so I'm gonna use a step drill bit to make it bigger until the bumper comes off. Well, of course, I mean, that's after I do it for all the holes, not just this one. I heard some people using like small right angle adapters to get to the spot weld, but then again, they're probably using proper spot weld drill bit, not this jank drill bit what I have, which I'm not even sure if it's gonna work in the end or not. Well, and this is also way more destructive than actually using a spot weld drill bit. Spot weld drill bit will only drill through the plate, not damaging the whole thing. In my case, I'm drilling straight through the spot weld, which is removing a lot of more material than a spot weld drill bit would. The drill battery died. As you can see, I was using step drill bit, so I think this is about how big of the holes I've drilled. And then I tried the pry bar, and it started making a lot of creaking noises. It's cool. Looks like it's almost free. Yeah, exciting stuff. When battery recharges, gonna drill out the other side, and gonna try to rip that reinforcement bar out of there. Okay, the battery is overheating. Well, I guess it's not as bad as both of those were flashing. For a second, both of those were flashing, and that means battery's done. Now it's just between overheating and done, looks like. As you can see, both of them flash. and sometimes it's just overheats and one's flashing. Yeah, I kind of sensed that I'm discharging the battery too fast. So let's see what I can do with the pry bar instead of using the drill. I'm just gonna let it sit there. Hopefully it doesn't spontaneously combust and might get charged up. So yeah, that's as far as I have drilled them out. There it is. Yeah, okay, I'll just screw around with this for a while and see if I can get it off. Alright, the battery came back to life. Charger now. Now, while it's charging, let me show you what the plan is here. So, the idea is to have the intercooler mounted something like that. So there are the brackets right there. I'm gonna put like a rubber bushing spacer in there a little bit to take up the, heat expansion and just vibrations and just unevenness of the radiator and the bumper and the flexing and stuff like that. Should help a little, but basically it's gonna sit like this, so this would be the outlet and it will go straight in there. So this is a 3-inch outlet, and ideally it would be nice to have a pipe that is 3-inch, just turns right here 90, goes straight in here and into the MAF and throttle body. So instead of fabricating something myself, I thought let's just buy hot air intake. So you can get this hot air intakes from things like wish.com, AliExpress. Some people like to call them cold air intakes, but I beg to differ. So this is hot air intake. It is made for this car. Should maybe sit something like that. This is the place where you would fit the airflow sensor. So it has all the outlets for things like vacuum lines and stuff like that. So it's all in there. However, as you can see here, this pipe is getting reduced down to the throttle body. If you look at the stock piping, it does not get reduced, and you can see that it carries pretty much the same diameter all the way through to the throttle body. Well, I guess some genius at the wish.com decided that it's a smart idea to upsize the pipe. But of course, if you upsize the pipe, then MAF airflow sensor is not going to work properly because it's made for this diameter of the pipe and it's going to mismeasure it. So then I thought, okay, we can fix that by reducing the pipe size. So they put in this spacer in there, so it does measure correct there. Yeah, I guess, sure, yeah, you can do that. You just increase the size of the pipe and reduce the size of the pipe, then increase the size of the pipe and reduce it again. Why not? Whatever floats your boat. But the thing is, for NA application, I think it's fine. But as a blow through MAF, I think this is not fine. You can see that there's actually a lot of places where it's going to cause turbulence, because what I'm going to have is the air is not only going to be going one way. The air in here is pretty much going to be going two ways, as boost is built and as boost is vented. So sometimes it'll go both ways. And just having pressurized air, different pressures all the time, sometimes it's going to be just atmosphere, sometimes it's going to be more than atmosphere. So I think this is going to cause an issue, that kind of unevenness in the induction. Oh, because I'm going to tune the engine anyway, I think I can just remove this plastic piece, and I think I'll just run with it. And I think it's It's gonna be janky because I'm gonna have this one oversized piece of pipe for no reason. I wish it were just 3 inches like everything else, because also this spacing right here. Okay, well, I can't fit in there right now. But yeah, this space in here fits 3 inch totally fine. This is, well, actually this is a little bit bigger than 3 inch and it's also fits, but it would be nicer to have some clearance between the walls so it doesn't rattle. But anyway, so yeah, it's gonna be one pipe, something like that, and a second pipe would go underneath, and there's enough space for both of them. Yeah, would be better if those just 3 inch, so I might order some more pipe in from AliExpress. There is actually 3 inch, and work with that. But yeah, that's the game plan. Let me see if the battery is ready and see if I can drill out some holes some more. Alright, there's another fitment representation here. Yeah, so I think this is 3.5 and this is a 2 inch pipe diameter. I will have a reducer elbow in here, so it will be 2.5 reduced to 2 inch and going into this pipe. And this one I think will just be a not straight, it will be a 3 inch elbow, 3 inch in, 3 inch out, and then I'll try to get a straight pipe through here. So not gonna have this here, this is just a representation of 3.5. So technically you could have 3.5 inch pipe going through there, but I'd rather not. And also I just want to, so this is supposed to go onto the throttle body. This is the smaller side, and I want to test fit it onto the intercooler, and I realized that actually the throttle body is probably bigger than 3 inches, because this is a 3 inch intake. This rubber coupler is a little bit bigger, too big for this pipe, so that means the throttle body is actually bigger than 3 inches. So what I'm gonna have is 3 inches getting increased to 3.5 inches and then reduced to whatever the throttle body size is, which is a little bit bigger than 3 inches, maybe 3.25. Yeah. Oh, and also yeah, so it's only a matter of time before I'll be able to get this reinforcement bar off the car. But if somebody was to do the same thing and mount the radiator, I mean intercooler, to the bumper without wanting to take off the reinforcement bar, it is possible to just drill right through the reinforcement bar. If you had like a longer drill bit, you could drill through it. Yeah, so drill all the way through the bumper, through here, and here probably maybe a good place. Then you can just put a rib nut on the inside and just screw it from the back side. So even though the hole in front might be like really small, you don't need to put a wrench through here. You just need to drill a hole through here, so you're able to drill a hole through the back side. There is enough space here to get a wrench, even a ratchet probably, to get in here and tighten those bolts into the rib nuts that would be on the back side of the reinforcement bar. Actually, they have to be really tight with pipes inside, but before you get the pipes in there, I think it's very doable to do that. Basically, I'm planning to do the same thing. I probably should have done that. Yeah, actually, I'm thinking about it. Maybe that's actually a lot easier to do it, because I'm already drilling out quite a bit and I still can't get this reinforcement bar off. I was kind of why I didn't want to do it this way is because I thought it would be difficult to get it lined up, but if you were able to get it lined up all properly, I think that's actually might be an easier way to get this done. Yeah, just drill straight through first wall and the wall on inside, and then drill holes through your brackets too, and you're pretty much good to go. Damn, makes me rethink my way of doing this. Oh well, I mean, I'll think about it some more and I'll continue from there. Progress has been made. Killed the battery again. But I was able to get this side off. Yeah, so that's how big the holes are. Do they need to be this big? Maybe not. If it depends on how well you place your drills. This is not something I drilled, that was already there. This is a hole that I drilled. So it depends on how well you place your hole on top of the spot weld. It will dictate the size of the hole that will need to be there. As you can see here, I didn't place the first hole very well, so I had to drill another one down there to help it along. Yeah, next I will try to get this one done, and once I have this one done, I might be able to use some leverage and some fatigue to get those rest of the spot welds by just gently yanking on a reinforcement bar until it gets ripped out. It's actually very loud. I tried to avoid use hammers, because I tried to be quiet here. But as I was prying like this spot welds, and as it snaps, there's like really loud sound as the metal just snaps. Yeah, so this is no quiet operation. But yeah, things are coming along. Once I have the reinforcement bar off, I will get the intercooler lined up, and I drill holes straight through the radiator, through intercooler bracket into the reinforcement bar, and then I'll have it riv nuts up in there. I'm gonna have this intercooler mounted in no time. Oh yes, and while we're here, I reinstalled the cold air intake. So this is cold air intake from factory. I removed it to see how the pipes would fit through here, but yeah, so this is actual cold air intake. There will be air coming from the grill through here, and it gets straight through into the air box. I removed, yeah, there, it goes straight through here. I removed the plastic piece here because I'm working on it. But yeah, from factory, the car comes with cold air intake, and what you get from wish.com is hot air intake. All right, success, mother truckers. I was able to get it removed. Well, removing the bumper took more time and was more difficult than I expected. So I'm gonna have to cut this video right here, and in the next one I will actually have the intercooler mounted to the bumper. See you in the next one.